So, good afternoon. First year BCom Computer Applications, Semester 1, Semester 1, FIT, Unit 1 and Unit 2, important questions, revision of important questions. So, yesterday we discussed about various input-output devices, and today we discuss about another important set of questions which are coming from first unit. It is generations of computers, and classification of computers or types of computers. So we discuss about all the and different types of memories also. So all these three are important set of questions, topics which are coming from first unit. So we start all these three topics. So first one is generations of computers. Generations of computers is also compulsory set of question from unit 1. So basically there are 5 generations of computers are there. First one is first generation computers. In first generation computers, the period is from 1945 to 1955. The main component used in first generation computers are vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes are the main component used in first generation computers. And example for first generation computers are ENIAC, ENIAC. And second generation computers are in the range of 1955 to 1965. And in second generation computers are built up with some transistors. What is a transistor? Means it is an electronic device generally used to store either a bit of information that is either 0 or 1. So in second generation computers, transistors are the main component used. Example computers are IBM 706 series, IBM 1620, IBM 1401. So the third generation computers are from 1965 to 1970, and in this generation computers are built up with ICs. What are ICs? IC means integrated circuits. What is an IC? Means it is a collection of large number of circuits or a large number of chips placed on a single large number of transistors which are generally placed on a single chip. It is called as IC. IC means integrated circuit. Example computers are IBM 360 and IBM 370 series. Next, in the fourth generation computers, this generation is begins from 1970 onwards till 1981 or 80. In this generation, LSI and VLSI chips are introduced. What are LSI means? Large scale integrated circuits. LSI means large scale integrated circuit. It is also one of the chip and circuit board. And VLSI means very large scale integrated chips. And examples are example for this generation are generally desktops, laptops, like that. So the fifth generation computers are starting from 1982 and running till date or till now. So generally these computers are built up with concept called artificial intelligence or AI. So in fifth generation computers, artificial intelligence is introduced. for building various computers. So this is the first set of question, and there are many other parameters and points are used, we may discuss in later PPTs. So this is the first another important set of question from which is coming from first unit, that is generations of computers. Generations of computers. Next one is another important question is classification of computers. Classification of computers or types of computers. So what are the different types of computers, and what is the classification of different computers and their features and applications, characteristics. Basically, computers are different, are divided into different types like microcomputers, mini computers, and mainframe computers. And computers are classified into different categories based on first one is based on their size, second one is based on their usage or based on their application, third one is based on their purpose. So computers are generally classified or divided into different categories based on their first one is based on their size. Based on their size means mini computers, microcomputers, and mainframes. Second one is based on their purpose, means these two types of computers are used: general purpose computers and digital computers, analog computers, digital computers, analog computers, and hybrid computers. And third category is based on their usage, means desktop computers, mini computers, microcomputers, mainframes, supercomputers, like that. So these are the different types of computers, different categories of computers. That also we will discuss by using various PPTs in the next classes. So what is a microcomputer? Microcomputer is generally microcomputers are works with some microprocessors. The first microprocessor was built around 8-bit microprocessor chip, includes some PC, desktop computers, laptops, like that. Examples are Intel 8080. Second type of computers are mini computers. So what are mini computers? Mini computers originated in 1960s. Initially these were 8-bit and 12-bit machines, but by 1970s almost machines were transformed into 16-bit machines. So third one is mainframe computers. Mainframe computers are generally 32-bit machines. These are suitable for big organizations to manage high volume of data and applications. Examples are Cyber series, like that. And similarly, another important set of question which is coming from first unit is memories, different types of memories and storage unit. First and second, from first and second units, what are the different types of memories, what are the different types of storage units, and what are their characteristics, features, and applications. So mainly memories are different types, as we already discussed in the class, like random access memories or RAM. Second one is read-only memories, ROM, cache memories, and like that. So basically memories are divided into two types: primary memory or a primary storage, and secondary memory or secondary storage. So what are primary memories? Primary memories are also known as main memory of a computer. Main memory of a computer. So again, primary memories are two types. First one is RAM or random access memory. It is also called as some main memory of a computer or a primary memory of a computer. Second one is ROM, read-only memories. Second one is ROM, read-only memory. Read-only memories are again ROM different categories, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM, like that. So what is the difference between a RAM and ROM? Means RAM is the main memory of a computer, or it is also called as volatile memory. What is volatile? Volatile means temporary memory. RAM is also called as temporary memory or a volatile memory. Means whenever you switch off the computer, or whenever you power off the computer, or whenever the power is gone, all the contents, all the programs, applications, softwares, data, information will be lost automatically. So that RAM is called as a primary memory or a temporary memory. So ROMs, in the other hand, ROM means read-only memory, and ROM is generally a permanent memory. In ROMs, all the system information or BIOS information, all the CMOS informations are stored. Means all the details about, like manufacturing details of the system or PC, motherboard, and various input devices and various ports. Similarly, various hard disk details, CD, DVD details, and other permanent details. All other permanent details are generally stored in ROMs. So again, ROMs are different categories: PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM. PROM means programmable read-only memory. Means we can design our programs, or we can write and design various. It is also called as firmware memory. Means we can permanently write or permanently use these programs and applications. And EPROM is erasable programmable read-only memory. Means we can easily erase the previous contents of the memory and rewrite them. Similarly, third type is EEPROM, means electrically erasable programmable read-only memories. So memories, basically memories are two types: primary memory and secondary memory. So secondary memory or what are secondary memories and secondary storage devices? So what are the differences between primary memory, and what are the characteristics, features of primary and secondary memories? Primary memories are very high speed memories, whereas secondary memories are low speed memories. Primary memories are costly memories. Secondary memories are low cost memories. And primary memories are limited memories in size, and the secondary memories are very large in size. And primary memories are temporary memories or a volatile memory, whereas secondary memories or secondary storage devices are permanent memories or non-volatile memories. So there are many types of secondary storage devices or secondary storage memories are available. Examples are like floppy disks, CDs, DVDs, magnetic tapes, magnetic drums, like that. So examples for secondary storage or secondary memories are disk drives, magnetic drums, like that. So that is also one type of essay type question. And another type of essay type question is another type of important question, or another important question which is coming from first and second unit is generations of languages or programming languages. What are the different types of programming languages, or what are the different types of different generations of languages? So basically computer languages are divided into four types, as all these things we are already discussed in the class once. So machine language, first one is machine language, second one is called low level language, third one is high level language, fourth one is fourth generation language. So these are the different types of programming languages, or different types of languages, or computer based languages. So we start with machine language or a binary language. So what is a machine language or a binary language? Machine code or machine language is a system of instructions executed directly by computers central processing. So generally computers can understand only this machine language or a binary language. Why? Because the computer is generally built up with electrical, electronic, mechanical devices and electrical circuits and boards. And all electrical equipments have only two characteristics or properties. Either the first one is if the current is passed or not. Second one is if the current is first one is if the current is passed, and second one is if the current is not passed. Generally, the current is passed is represented with a zero value, and current is non-passed means it is represented with non-zero value. And each instruction performs a very specific task, typically either an operation on a unit of data in a regular register or in memory. So generally, what is an instruction or a command? Means command is nothing but it is some type of instruction given to a computer to be executed or to be run, and all the instructions, data or information is generally stored in the form of machine language or a binary language only. Next is generally machine language or binary language is used at the time of first generation computers, means evolution of computers time. And second type of language or programming language is low level language. So what are low level languages? Low level languages are mid level languages. They are also called as middle or mid level languages. So low level programming languages is a programming language that provides little or no abstraction from a computer's instruction set. Generally, this refers to either machine code or assembly language. The word low refers to the small or non-existent amount of abstraction. So, what are the examples for low-level programming language? Means assembly language. Assembly languages are the examples for low-level languages or middle-level languages. So, what is an assembly language? Assembly language is a mnemonic type language. Means a language with some coding, or code. Generally in assembly language we may use some type of codes for writing various instructions like adding, subtraction, division, multiplication, like that. So these are the low level languages. Third type of languages are high level languages or high level programming languages. So high level programming language is a programming language with strong abstraction from the details of the computer, and in comparison to low level programming language, it may use natural language elements, be easier to use, or be from the specification of the program, making the process of developing a program simpler and more understandable with respect to low level. The amount of abstraction. So what are high level languages? High level programming languages or high level languages are easy to use and easy to debug or modify, and they are also called as a strong programming language, and they are generally English like languages, means in these languages we may use generally day-to-day life use words, and there are also natural languages, means they follow some natural language instructions or commands, and they are easier to use and easy to program or easy to write programming, and programming part is easier or easy to understand, and easy to follow and store. So all these are the different features of high level language or high level programming language. So the last type of programming language is fourth generation languages. The fourth generation language means generally from 1972 70s to 1990. They are also called as 4GL. Is a programming language or a programming environment designed with a specific purpose for development of commercial business software. So the fourth generation language followed the third generation language. So generally fourth generation languages are domain specific, means they usually developed for specific predefined purpose. So next another type of important question or important essay type question which is coming from third unit is classification of software or types of softwares. So what are the different types of softwares, or what are the classifications of software? It is in third unit. So generally softwares are two types: application software and system software. Softwares are two types: application software and system software. Application software means generally they are developed for some commercial applications or for creating some by using some day-to-day life applications softwares. Examples like MS Word, Excel, Fox Pro, like that. MS Word is a word processor software. MS Excel is a spreadsheet software, and Fox Pro, Oracle, all these are database softwares. So there are many kinds of application softwares are used, like word processors like MS Word, spreadsheets like MS Excel, presentation softwares like MS PowerPoint, database softwares like Oracle and Fox Pro, like that, and the graphic softwares like MS Paint and others. Second category or second type of software is called as system software. So the first type is application software and second type is system software. So what is system software? Means system softwares are also known as operating systems. System software is nothing but are also called as operating systems, compilers and interpreters or translators. So what are operating systems, or what are compilers, or what are interpreters, like that we will explain them. So what is operating system? What is the definition of operating system? Means operating systems are known as system software, generally known as system software. Generally, what is an operating system? It is a collection of some programs or a collection of some tools or utilities to run a system or a PC. To run a system or PC. Generally, whenever you start a computer or whenever you start a PC, the operating system will be loaded first. The operating system will be loaded into the system first, or operating system will be loaded into the memory. Next is compilers. So what are compilers? and interpreters are translators. So what are translators? So to convert any high level language, to convert any high level programming language into a machine language or a machine programming, we may use some type of system softwares called translators or compilers or interpreters. So what are translators? So translators are some type of application programs or system softwares. Generally they are used to translate the programs written in any high level language into into machine language or object code. So what are translators? Translators are also application programs or system softwares or some tools or some utilities. Generally they are used to translate the program which is written in any programming language or which is written in any high level language into object code or machine language. Why? Because computers can understand only machine language or object code only, object code or machine language only. So to convert them we may use some type of softwares called translators. Generally translators are two types, compilers and interpreters. So what are translators and what are different types of translators are used? Generally to translate a program written in any high level language into object code or object program, we may use some system software called translators. Translators are basically why we require what is the role of translator means it simply translates programs written in high level language into machine code or binary language. So basically there are two types of translators. First one is compilers and second one is interpreters. Two types of translators are used. First one is compilers and second one is interpreters. And some programs or some programming languages uses compilers, whereas others are used interpreters. So what are the differences between compiler and interpreter? So compiler generally they are faster while compared with interpreters, and compiler can compile or translate the programs line by line, whereas interpreters translates the entire program or taking into once, and compilers are displays all the error messages and generally it stops at the first error or error message occurred, whereas interpreters translates it takes entire program and displays all the errors in the program. So and compilers are more faster than interpreters. So next another important question from 5th unit, that is data communications. Another important question which is coming from 5th unit is classification of networks or networks, types of networks or classification of networks or topologies, network topologies. So classification of networks means basically networks are three types. First one is LAN. So this is also one of the important set of question from 5th unit, that is data communications. So what are the different types of networks or what are the classification of networks? So first one is LAN, second one is MAN, third one is WAN. LAN means local area networks. LAN means local area network. Second one is WAN. MAN means metropolitan. MAN means metropolitan area network. Third one is WAN, means wide area networks. So we will explain about all these three types of networks with their characteristics, features, applications, limitations, like that. So we start with LAN. So what is LAN? LAN means local area network. Generally called LANs are privately owned networks within a single building or campus of up to a few kilometers. Generally, LANs are used to create a network within and use the network within a building or within one or two floors or within a floor or within a small campus or within a small building or within some rooms in a campus like that. So generally LANs cover limited area. LANs covered a limited area, and they also support a limited number of systems or networks or a limited number of terminals or systems. So next is they are widely used to connect personal computers and workstations in a company offices and factories to share resources and exchange information. So generally LANs are used to connect desktops or PCs or computers or workstations. Generally they are used in small offices, companies, for to share data and information, to share some files, to exchange data or information from one system to another system. And LANs are distinguished from other kinds of networks by three categories. So LANs are generally what we may compare LAN, WAN and MAN with three parameters, by using three parameters. The first one is their size, second one is their transmission technology and their topology. So generally all LANs are distinguished from each other by three characteristics. First one is by their size, second one is their transmission technology, third one is their topology. So LAN often uses a transmission technology consisting of single cable to which all machines are attached. So generally in LANs we may use a single cable or a single transmission media to connect all the systems, PCs, desktops or terminals. And LAN often uses various types of topologies, for example tree topology, bus topology and ring topology. So generally in LAN we may use three types of topologies or three types of networks. First one is tree topology, second one is bus topology and ring topology. So the second category of network is called as MAN, means a metropolitan area network. A metropolitan area network or MAN is basically a bigger version of LAN, normally uses similar technology. Means generally MAN is generally used to connect two or more cities like intercities. And in MAN also, MAN is nothing but it is a large network. Generally MAN or metropolitan area network contains a large network of it contains large number of systems or large number of workstations, nodes or terminals. It might cover a group of nearby corporate offices or a city, might either private or public. Generally in MAN we may use a public network or private network, and generally it covers various buildings within a city or various offices within a city like that. A MAN can support both data and voice and might even be related to local cable network. So generally MANs are used to connect cables. Generally in MANs we may use some cables use it to, and where we generally used MANs means for television networks, local cable networks, and all type of networks we may use MAN technologies, means metropolitan area networks. So the last and third type of networks is WAN, means generally wide area network. Wide area network spans a large geographical area, often a country or a continent. It contains a collection of machines intended for running user programs. Generally WAN means The best example for WAN is internet. Generally, internet is used or using WAN technologies, and WAN generally uses, it contains a large network, or it covers a large geographical area, and it covers generally used to connect countries or continents. And generally WANs contains a collection of machines for running programs and applications. So next is network hardware. So what are the different types of networks? It is also one of the essay type question coming from 5th unit, that is data communications. So what is a network hardware, or what is a different types of hardware used in networks? So generally in any network we may use different network components or instruments. First one is network interface card or NIC, network interface card or NIC or network card. Second one is hubs. Third one is switches. Fourth one is bridges. So these are the different components or different types of terminology or different types of network hardware used in a network. So first one is network interface card or NIC. It provides an interface between the cables and the clients. So network, what is a network card? It is a mediator or a interface. It is an interface between the cables, network means network cables, and the clients or systems. Second is hub. What is hub? Hub acts as an intermediate between the server and the clients. Generally in a client server environment or a client server LANs, we may use hubs. What are hubs? Hubs are network devices generally used to connect servers, systems or servers to the clients or client systems. Next is switches. So what are switches? Switches are so next another network interface or network board is hub. So what is a hub? Hub is also another type of network device generally used in client server environment, and use it to connect servers, connect or join server systems and nodes, server systems and nodes. So generally hubs are used to connect server any number of systems in a network. And next another device called switches. Switches are also used in networks. What is a switch? Switches are also called as an intelligent hubs, because switches can run very fastly, or they are also costly equipment compared to hubs, and the speed of the network in switches are also very high compared to switch hubs. And generally switches are used to run any type of applications or application programs. Next another term is bridges. So what is a bridge? Bridge means different LANs. Generally bridges are used to connect. Generally bridges are used to connect different types of LANs, can be connected by devices called bridges which operate on the data network. So generally bridges are used to connect different types of networks or different types of LANs. Means bridges are also used to connect one network to another network. In that case or in that situation we use bridges. Bridges are also small devices, network devices used to connect two or more networks, different networks, two or more different networks into a single. So by using bridges, we may simply create or join two or more networks, and switches are very fast in speed and they are high speed network devices.